All right, today we'll be looking at all that Pixellab has. I'll be looking at 20 things that Pixellab has. And let's start. First, we'll start with text management. We open our Pixellab first, and this is how the structure will actually look like. This is text. On this text, we can easily manipulate whatever we want to write on. And this moment we are going to start right now using our text editor, which will show us this interface. Once we can delete it, and we can add our text using this A arrow or icon, and then we insert new text. Immediately we insert new text, we can edit it just this manner. We are going to be using digital marketing for our editing today. We click OK. We can change it to capital letter by pressing that, and then press OK, and it will come on. We can drag it wherever we want to drag it to. We can move it, we can place it anywhere we feel like placing it, depending on what we want to do. Also, the second thing we'll be looking at is copy fonts or back. And we open our Pixellab, which is our first thing to do. Then we have our text on it. We'll press on the A button and we'll see this thumb up. We can copy, and once we copy, duplicate, and we have copied 3 of those things. And then these are new text. We are placing them on the same angle, but we cannot see whether it's in front or back, so we apply colors to different text. Then the other one will change the color. Delete that one. You can see that this one is at the back now, the new text, which is in orange color. Then when we press to front, we can see it now. That's come up. We can resize. We can also resize this so that we see it clearly. You can see the new text. You can see how we can actually move one on top each other by pressing the. Help this channel by clicking on the subscribe button. All right. The third is what we call position settings. It's one of the features. We open our Pixellab and we can see the interface, which is the new text. On the feature, we can see the position, whereby we can move from left, right, up and down. We can move it by side by pressing those arrow indicating where to move them to. Then we can move them up, can move them down. We can increase the pixel of the movement by increasing that, and then you can see the effects as we are moving them. And then also relative size position, where our text is at the side at the top. When we press the enter, you will see it's at the middle, at the top, at the side. We can see those arrows indicating where we can place them: at the bottom, at the top, then at the center, then in the middle. You can see how we can use this. Let's continue. Then we can change the size of the text. Also, by increasing the size, you can see the size. We can increase it, the font size, can reduce it in different ways, either by plusing or by dragging the cursor on the other side. We can see how the movement is going. Pixellab is a free editing tool we can use. You can see some of the functions, and then you can see it yourself. You can practice this. Let's save, and that is what we'll be looking at. The fourth thing we'll be looking at is the text texture. We'll open a Pixellab, which is the first thing to do, and then normally our interface will pump up. Then we go down, you see pad, the color, the text, the opacity, the padding. Once we increase our text, we press on the pad. We can look at the left padding, where we can increase the left as we are seeing it. As we are increasing the padding, increase it, the right padding you are seeing. Looking at color now, when we press the icon color, we can see the different colors: black, yellow. Then gradient, once you press gradient, you can see more than 2-3 colors that will show depending on what you actually want. Then let's look at this one. They have different colors. Okay, let's go to texture now. On our new text, we will dive into pressing the text icon. We can change the texture to any image of our choice. We'll go to our image, and you will see some of our image, the one we want the text to actually carry the texture. Then let's pick this one, and then we resize it and press it. You can see after pressing it, you can see the new text carrying the texture of the image we picked from our gallery. And we can increase the scale, we can reduce the scale, we can enable to make it easier for us depending on what we want, and then we can delete it. We can, okay. Then let's look at the opacity. Opacity is the nature and appearance, how it will appear. If we reduce, you can see it turning into something like shadow. And opacity is just like the appearance, the volume of the appearance. We can see opacity. Then rotate is on 0 degree. We increase it to any degree we want. We can change it, we can increase, we can reduce. If we want 90 degree, we can place our text in any degree we want. As it Pixel is very useful in our graphic work. Then we press save. You can bring it back, you can remove it. Okay. The next thing we'll be looking at is our fonts, curve, font background. We open our Pixellab, and then we can see the nature of our Pixellab. We press on the icon A, we can reduce our fonts. When we go down, we press font. We can see different fonts. My fonts, recent fonts. You can see them. These are the one that comes with a Pixellab. Then the recent one we've used will show here. Then the one you downloaded or you actually have on your phone will be showing on my fonts. Okay, you can pick anyone. Okay, let's look at the one we'll pick for our fonts. We can see different form. We are going to look at Vigo. We press OK. And we can see that our new text has changed the font and it's looking bright. We can change the color of the text which to any color. We can increase the opacity. We can change the style to bold and you will see it. You can remove, you can place the text in italics. You can put it, you can underline the text. You can do virtually anything using this Pixellab. You can stroke or remove the text. You can see the effects on it. We can even select the part we want the effect to actually affect. For press, you can see it is just that place that we underline that is actually taking that effect. Right now, let's go to curve, and then on curve, you can see we can bend. Our bending degree is showing 0 degree now. If we increase it, you can see how we can use Pixellab to bend text into circle or any shape we want. It is on 80 degree now, 5 degree, 45 degree, any degree we want it to be, and we can cancel it. And then looking at the text now, we can add background to the text. We enable it and you are seeing the background text. We can change the color of the background text. And say it has been changed to white and the padding is showing. We can increase the padding and reduce it, left padding, right padding. You can see the background, and then top, the padding is showing, depending the bottom. Then we can see the radius. We can increase the radius. We can cancel. Then don't forget to press the subscribe button. Thank you for your time. We are going to be looking at the sixth thing, which is align and spacing. And then, like we all know, the first thing we do is to open our Pixellab, and then the interface we pump up. The usual interface we usually see, and then text, new text, and then we can delete the text. Then we pick a quote. Okay, seeing our quote we picked from the ones we have on Pixellab. Then we can see, then we scroll down to align. We press the align. You can see, you can put it at the sides, at the center, and then we can choose whatever alignment we want to. Can justify to see, or you can see the effects. Put it at the center. We can cancel. Then the spacing, we can increase the spacing of our texts. You can see the spacing that is there. We can increase the spacing depending on how we want it to look. We can increase it by letters and by words. By words, you can see how the effect is showing. We can cancel. Then we look at line spacing. That is the distance between the lines. And we can see when we increase it, reduce it, you can see all the text are increasing and we can see the line spacing between them. Then we can so align spacing, line spacing, and you can do a lot with Pixellab. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button for more. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to our channel. Next, we'll be looking at the stroke, the shadow, and the emboss. We open our Pixellab, and then our normal interface will just pump up. Then we add text, just like we did in the our first class. Can delete, and then we can actually enter a new text. We are using A as an alphabet. For this edit, we increase the size to the nature of thing, the nature we want it to look like, and then we come to shadow or stroke. We press the enabled, we can see the stroke just came up to the width of 4, and then we can increase the stroke, can reduce. You can see we can change the color of the stroke. We can add any color of our choice. You can see we can change to any color that we want at all, any color. And gradients, which will give us multiple colors. You can cancel. Then shadow, we enable our shadow. You can see the shadow, which the opacity is 100 degree. Can reduce it, can increase the radius, the blur radius. Then you can see the effects on the background. When we enable glow, we can see that it has been increased. Can see the effects. We can reduce the offsets, that is where our shadow will show. You can see the effects, the y-axis, the x-axis, you can see it. Then we look at inner shadow, then press enabled. We increase the blur radius and we can see the effect. We can change the color. You can see the offsets, the y offset, the x offsets, the y offsets. And let's look at emboss. Once we click on the emboss icon, this is what it will show. We enable it and we cannot actually see the effect now. When you increase the intensity, you can see what the effect is doing as we are increasing the intensity, the ambient light, the specular hardness. Then we can do a lot of things on just our text. We can increase the bevel. You can see the effects that is showing. And back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow our channel for for more. All right, we'll be looking at the perspective, the 3D text, and then reflection. Let's dive into by opening our Pixellab. Then we can see the interface. We look at the 3D, the interface is showing. Let's pick one of them. Perspective, how a text will look like by increasing those angle, and we enable. See the effect on the text. You can see how the text is looking like now. Once you enable it, once you press, you can see we are increasing, which is making it beautiful. And then can cancel, we can increase it to any size we want, of which we are seeing the effect. Okay, whatever nature you want to your text to be. And then that's for perspective. Let's look at rotate, 3D rotate. The x-axis, you can see as we are rotating the y-axis, changing the text to any look we want. Then we can see 3D text. If we enable it, we can see the perspective and we can see oblique. Whichever one we want, we can increase the depth and we are seeing the effect behind. You can see change the color of the depth, change it to this color, and you can see you can change it to black. You can increase the gradient, you can change the gradient, you can add by entering the plus. You can see, you can rotate it. You are seeing the effect as we are touching each and every angle. Then the shadow, can increase the shadow, the specular hardness. Then can then 3D, so you can see. Let's look at the depth by increasing it. Then oblique, you can see, so you pressed oblique, we are seeing what is happening behind that text. Let's look at shadow. This is our text, we press shadow, we can see the effect immediately we enabled it. We can increase the opacity of our shadow, can increase and reduce the blur radius, can expand by any length we want to expand it. And then you can see the mirror sign. Once we enable it, we can see the effect. These are all on text. The reflection, we can see the reflection, we can increase where we want it to be. And that's for this section. Okay, we look at 3D effects, rotate, and so on. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Now we'll be looking at import and export. Import and export, we open our Pixellab and we see the text, the whatever, you can see our text. You can delete. We press on add sticker. You can see different stickers that are showing, different emojis we can see. Then our focus is import. We press import, and then we go to our gallery, and you can see different images that are on our gallery. We look for one, we pick this one. Immediately we can rotate to any size we want. We can change this nature and how we want the image to look. We can rotate, we can change, we can just do anything. Then we press the different shape, and then we press this. You can see our image is on our canvas. Now that is how to add your image or to import an image on Canva. The next thing we'll be looking at, we'll be looking at the draw and shapes. We open our Pixellab. It's the interface after deleting the new text. Then we go to our edit icon. We can see the draw sign. We can see the shapes sign. Press the draw, and you see change the color to red or the size we want. If we want it to fill size, if we want it to be dash line, if we want new neon effects, we can see you can increase the radius, the pen size. You can see as we are drawing, we draw something, and then we can press cancel, and we press the fill, and we draw anything. You can see how it will look. You can see it as fill. We can also do a lot of things as you are seeing the fill effect. Then we cancel it. Then the dash lines, when we press the dash line, you can see what our effect will be. Then the neon effect, you can see the effect on our drawings. Okay, back, undo, undo. You can see the neon effect. You can cancel, increase the pen, and then seeing the effect on the canvas. Let's say we want to like remove the drawing that we have. We will start by cleaning what we've drawn, and if we increase the pen, you can see we can clean it, then press fill, and then we can see. Okay, cancel, yes, enter, can delete. Then the shape, once we press the shape, we can see different shapes that we can pick. Any shape of our choice. We pick the circle, increase the opacity, can change the color to white, any color of our choice. Can apply gradients, can can do a lot of things on our shape, just like the text. We can add stroke, you can see the width, can change the stroke size, you can see the opacity of the stroke. Okay, we can fill. If you press fill, you will see increasing the opacity. We are seeing the effect as we are doing various things on our shape. Then we can, the nature of the edge we want. We want it sharp or curve. You can see the effect as we are increasing the blur radius. can change the, as you can see. All right, okay. The next thing we'll be looking at is Bezier or Bezier. Don't mind my word. Just take the lesson. We open our Pixellab, which is the first thing to do. On our canvas, we can see the Beziers. Once we click, you will see this sign pump up, and then it's one of the hardest part of, but if you understand it, it's very easy to use. You can see this, where it's showing the add, which we can see for ourselves. As we continue to add, you will see the movement and the addition as it going up. You are seeing the effect. Then we can actually do a lot. We can remove by clicking on those things. We can draw, add to it, and fill it up. You can see the effect as we are doing different things. You can remove by pressing that. You can fill it by clicking on that, and then remove the fill. We can increase the scale. We cancel it. You can press rotate, and you see the rotate in different degrees. Can cancel. Can apply stroke as we are increasing and decreasing. You can see the edge, what we want it to look like, whether sharp or curve. Can increase and reduce the opacity. Can change the color from yellow to white to red to black. Add gradients. Can see the effect. As we are adding, you can see. Then this is where we take control of what we've drawn. Can move it by clicking on those arrow, and this is where we can actually, these are the features of this Bezier. The control panel is on this. Once we click on it, we can adjust the movement to the direction we want. You can see we are controlling each point. Okay, you are seeing the effect. All right. You can see the effect as we are moving those cursor, and then we are seeing the effect on the diagram we have on our canvas. We are trying to go through all the steps so you can really understand it. You are seeing the changes taking place as we are moving them one by one. You can see you can actually do a lot with the Bezier. Some of these tools you can use it to create any diagram of your choice. Okay, you are seeing the changes. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to adjust. We can fill with that, and can increase the opacity. You can see, change the color to yellow, reduce the opacity, and you'll be seeing the effect on the stroke. Can change. Let's mark this. Okay, go down to our mask. There's this mask. Okay, scroll through. Alright, that's it. Once we click on mask, you see the effect on the canvas, and you are seeing it covering our face. When we enable it and it's in, you are seeing the effect on it. When we press the out, you are also seeing the effect. You can see, we can, just like the brazier, we can rotate, we can do a lot. Let's try to increase, and we are seeing the effect on it. Alright, when we press this mark, we can see the effect, and we can move it to any direction we actually want. We can increase the size. Some of these things, if you are seeing the design on the canvas, we can actually use it for our designs on. Okay, please subscribe to our channels for the latest updates. 12, we'll be looking at arrow, and the first thing to do is to open our Pixellab, which we open up our canvas, and we have our work. We scroll down to edit, and then we can see the arrow. Press on the arrow, we can move. Let's remove our text because that's not the object we want to use. So we press the arrow, you can see you can remove one, and then you can see the arrow. On the arrow, we can edit the arrow, can change the size by increasing it. You can see the effect. I move it to the center. We are seeing the effect on the canvas. The beginning of the arrow, which you can see, can be changed. You can change it to any format. You can add the end. You can see the effect on the canvas. Then you are seeing, as we are changing it, you are seeing the effect. We can place it to any direction of our choice. You can reduce. Then the end of the arrow, we can see we can increase the size of the end, and then we can change the end to any shape we want. You can see the effect as we are moving them and changing it. Then you are seeing the effect. You can do a lot with this, just like the text in our object. We can reduce the opacity. You can change the color: white, yellow, pink. You can increase the width of the stroke. You can see the effect. You can change the color of the stroke. Let's try to change it to, okay, let's add gradient. You can see, can change various things. A lot can be done on this arrow, as we can see it. Okay, that is that for arrow. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to our channel for more updates. Alright, 13, we'll be looking at transparent and PNG. We open our Pixellab, which is our first thing, and the canvas we pump up as usual. Once it opens, you can see on our canvas. Then we scroll to our background. We click on color, and then we add gradient, and you can see we tap on color, we change it to white, yellow. Okay, we can change to any color of our choice. You can add colors. You can see on the interface it's reflecting, and we are seeing the change of colors. You can see it has been turned to blue. Then we can change to gradients. You can see as we are increasing, you are seeing the different shape our gradient is taking. Then press OK, and we can see it. Then we click OK. Then as we can see on our canvas, on that background, you can click transparent and you can see that all the effect has changed. You can see the effect as it's changing. Let's click OK. Click transparent. Once we click transparent, you can see on the canvas everything has gone and your place has become blank. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for latest updates. Alright, the next thing we'll be looking at is image size and the cropping. Okay, like we know, we open our Pixellab and then we see on our background, which is a background image, by clicking on that, and we click on, you can see the nature, and we go to the image, which is a background image. Then we look at image size. You can see different custom, square, photo, profile picture, YouTube channel banner, YouTube thumbnail, Facebook cover art, Twitter. You can see the different sizes. You can customize your own size, the height, the width. Okay, then we see the image. We can see, look at the custom. Press on YouTube thumbnail. You can see the size that's changed on the canvas. It is for YouTube. Then we'll press the image. We import our image, which we've learned the other time. Look at our downloads. We pick an image. We select it. Then you can see the image. Press on the crop, and you can see the different sizes we can crop this image to. Okay, you can see you can rotate. Okay, you can see you can rotate. You can change the nature, the look to whatever form you want it to take. You are saying you can change how you want it to look on your canvas. You can see, since we are using thumbnail, you can see YouTube, you can see different sizes and do a lot with this app. We market and we are seeing the effect on our canvas. We can crop, see the crop effects, the part we want to show. You can see it, you can see, place it here, and you can see the effects on the canvas. You can support us by clicking on the subscribe button for latest updates on your graphic design. Alright, the next thing we'll be looking at is background image from gallery or from our camera. The first thing we do is to open our pixel, and then we can see, then we press the image. You can see different images. These are the ones that comes with the Pixellab. Then you can see the images. These are the images that comes along with our Pixellab. And then we can select our own image also from our gallery. Press the gallery, enter our downloads, and then you can see different images that we have. Okay, you can see, let's pick this one. We pick it and you can see it has become our background. We can pick from our cameras too. You can see as you press our camera, you can take a picture with your phone and press OK. You can see the image. You can crop it and then mark it. You can see it has become our background. This from our camera. Okay. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more updates. Next, we'll be looking at brightness, contrast, the saturation. Let's open a Pixellab. We can see a canvas we open. Press the last icon. We can see the different. You can see vignette. If we enable, you can see the effect on our canvas. Okay, you can see the side has changed color. You can see the effect on our canvas. Okay, you can increase the alpha, see different effects. Colors to yellow to orange to pink to orange to different colors we can choose. So increasing the alpha, you are seeing the effect on the canvas. And so then we look at noise. See, as we've reduced the noise, you can see the effect we enhance. You can do a lot of things with this. You are seeing the effect. We go on the stripe and press the stripe, you are seeing the stripe. Increase the alpha, you are seeing the effect. You can repeat. Okay, then the brightness, you can see as we are increasing the brightness and reducing it. You can see the contrast now. We increase the contrast, you can see the effect. You can see the hue. So you're increasing the hue, you are seeing the effects. And then this one is generally on the background. You can see the saturation. If you increase the saturation, you can see the effect. Okay. You can help this channel by subscribing to it by clicking on the subscribe button and the bell for notification. Next, we'll be looking at guide and zoom. And the first thing we usually do is to open a Pixellab, and then once we open the interface, we open up. You can see different icon at the top. When you press the grid, you can see, you can increase it and move it. You can press that magnet sign and you are seeing the effects. You can see the effects on it. You can add others. You can see once you press the plus button, you can add at the bottom. You can cancel. You can increase to any number. Let's use 36, or let's cancel, use 6 or 3. You can change it to any number you want on the grid. Let's use 6 by 6, press OK. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the grid. You press it, you will not see it again. This is to guide you. You can add text, and then you can see on our text where we can edit our text. We'll change the font to our Vigo, and then we add duplicate. You can see, then we press on the grid. You can see the line that this one falls on. When we cancel, you can see, okay, as a guide, we are saying for new text on our canvas. This, we press the magnetic icon, then you can see it's on the same line with that grid. You can see the effect. You see as if the force is magneting it, and you can see our text is arranged in the order we want it to be using our grid. Then we increase the size, we zoom. This is zoom. Once you press it, it will show, and then you can actually increase by striping. So we've learned from one of our class. You can see what we can do with our text. You can see now we've increased it to the highest, and we can reduce it to the lowest. We can see the zoom effect on our canvas, and we can actually access our work using this. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button for more updates. Next, we'll be looking at our layer use. On our canvas, we can see that's our layer. This is where we can save. We click on the layer. Okay, you can see our 4 text rather, on our canvas. Click on the layers, and we can see our edit as we are scrolling down. We can make it invisible. We can lock it, we can make it invisible. Let's click on our new text. We increase the size. We make it invisible. As we are clicking, you are seeing the effect on the canvas. Okay, seeing the 4 text. Let's go and add them up. You can click on it, and then this is where we can actually move them. You can decide what to do with the 4 things we've marked. You can decide to make it invisible. You can decide to move them. You can decide to rotate. Those signs that we learned, they are all here. Let's click on the resize. You can see as we are resizing, we are seeing the effect on the canvas. Okay, this is the layer, and you can see how we can use the layer. Once we drag it down, we can see that it will become hidden or to the back, just like what we learned in the move to the back. Let's click on it to see. Change the color to yellow, and then you can see. Then on the layer now, we are saying can delete that text, can delete those texts. Let's see the effect of what we want to do. Now you can see the shape we just added, and on the layer we can see, and you can see it's on top. As we are moving it down, you can see it has gone to the back. You can see the effect. We can see, let's add another shape, and then we change the color to this. Okay, let's change the color to, okay, you can see on the layer, we can see place the text behind. You can see that the ones down is showing. You can see as it is on the layer, we can see it on top each others. We can take it to back. We can increase it, we can change it. You can see the effect. That's what we can do on the layer. Then on the plus, you can add text, you can add current date, you can add shapes, you can add from our gallery, we can draw. This is where we can add different things on our Pixellab, and then the save, and save as image, save as project. Okay, you can see these are some of the things we can do on our Pixellab. Okay, if you found this useful, you can hit the like and subscribe button for more. Okay, next we'll be looking at auto recovery or auto recover, then open PLP files. We open our Pixellab and we see the dashboard or the canvas. You can see on it now. Okay, press on the three dots at the right. You can see recover autosave. When we click on it, you can see date and time of our autosave files. You can see them. So let's look at one and pick and see the effect. Press OK. You can see the last thing we saved showing here. You can see we've recovered those things that we saved. Then let's look at open PLP. You can see different designs we've done on a Pixellab. You can see, and they are saved as we can see them. Click any one of them and it will open, and we can access them and edit them too. You can see. Let's do one or two things and save it and see. You can see save as project. It will be saved as PLP. Okay, that is that. The last but not the least that are going to be looking at is the background remove and erase. Okay, let's open our Pixellab, which is the first thing we usually do. Then we can see our timeline. Okay, you can see background, we remove that one. Add background, so you can see. We can erase, and let's see. Let's press erase and enable. Once we pick any color, let's pick yellow color and click, you can see the yellow color has been removed. Then but we can still see one line. Okay, see, take to red color, you can see the red color has been removed. Okay, you can increase the tolerance and you see the effect, and you can smooth the edge and you see the effect. Click. Right, eraser. This one is like a manual eraser, just like we use a normal eraser. See, as we are cleaning and you are saying can increase so that we will know where we are actually doing all those things. You can see the effect as we are removing. Okay, you are seeing the effect as we are removing the background. You can reduce, you can undo, you can change different size. Click on that, you can see circular. Press this, remove, and you will see. Okay, you can see the outside has been removed. We press, increase. This is for the inside. You can see the effect on our canvas. You can see the effect, the eraser and the erase color. Okay, you can see these are some of the things we've learned, and I believe some of us have learned a lot from this class. If you found this useful, you can subscribe to our channels for more updates. Thank you for your time and remain blessed till we meet in our next class.